How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to talk to you about mixing drums recorded with a limited amount of microphones. Maybe you're on a budget or just don't have access to the required equipment, but usually a minimum of 4 microphones is required to get a decent sound. One's usually needed for the kick, one for the snare, or 2 for the overheads. These drums I have here are already aligned to the grid, and I've edited them a bit using Elastic Audio, so I'm going to go right into mixing. I'm using Pro Tools 8 LE on a Mac, as you can see, but any other program will work just as good, like Logic Pro, Adobe Audition, or anything else. I'm going to start by creating a stereo auxiliary input for the overheads. You do this just by going track, new, select stereo, and aux input. Yeah, let's name this, keep it all organized. Overheads. Then you're gonna want to set the input as a bus. Any bus will do. One's just one that's not being used already. I have none being used right now, so I'm gonna select bus 1 to 2, and then send the output of each overhead to bus 1 and 2. This is gonna let them. It's gonna send them through this, and you can edit them both through the auxiliary input. So if we take a listen to that, it's gonna be running through this auxiliary input, as you can see. All right. Now I'm gonna start by applying EQ and compression onto the overheads. Just some simple EQing. So I'll grab an EQ 7 band right here. And right here, you're going to want to click this button right here. This is going to allow us to do a high pass and a low pass filter, which will just let us drop off some of the unwanted sounds in those frequencies. So I'm going to let's just listen to the overheads. Just going to cut out a bit of that low end right there. We don't want it to become muddy. Cut off some of this high end. Alright, yeah, that's alright. So I'm going to add a little bit of compression. Now these settings I'm using here, they might not work for you. Just honestly, just mess with it until it sounds good. Mix with your ears, not your eyes. So I think that's all right for now. I'm not doing very much. I'm just getting a little bit done. Gonna do a bit to the snare. Now you don't want to cut too much out, because that's going to get rid of some of the life of the snare. As you can tell. You don't want that. But you don't want it to be muddy either. There's also a bit of ring in the snare, which you can cut out. I'm going to find it right now. Yeah, there's a lot of ring right there. So you're not going to want to go too drastic, but you're going to cut a little bit. Alright, so that fixed up a little. I'll add a little bit of high mid-range in. Just bring back the life a little bit. Now we're going to want to grab a bit compressor. Just take some of that, the volume off that one. And moving on to the kick. This kick wasn't recorded very well, so it's not going to sound amazing. I'm going to cut a little bit, not too much, a little bit off. Yeah, there's a lot of ring right there, so. Bring back the low end a little bit. And we can cut out a lot of high end on the kicks. Get rid of some of the bleed. Another thing you can do is get a very short compression, a very Alright, and now panning comes in. I don't like to pan the overheads like I don't like to hard pan them, but I'll usually take them around 50 each. Just gives it a wider image. Another thing you can do is you can add a little bit of chorus to the snare. I find it usually makes it sound a bit better. Too much definitely doesn't sound very good, and I'll show you that. I like a slow time. But nah, too much doesn't sound very good. It could sound cool if you use it in context with I don't know, a song that it suits. But a little bit sounds cool. I usually add a little bit of reverb onto the overhead auxiliary track. And a bit of reverb onto the snare too. But you're also gonna have to turn up the snare a bit after you put the reverb on. Alright, thanks for watching. It's just a simple tutorial getting started on mixing drums with limited amount of microphones. And thanks for watching.